everybody, and welcome back to A Beer Day with TK. It is a cold, rainy afternoon here in Findlay, Ohio, and I'm hanging out in the beer shed getting ready for Anderson to arrive. He's on the way. The last tour with Phil Collins ended, so before he goes out on the Young Gravy tour, he's stopping through to have a few beers. So some cool videos will be coming, hopefully. For today, I have this beer here. It's called Collusion Switchyard, and this was sent to me by Jay from This Guy's Thoughts, so check him out. I'll throw his channel info above. And this is a collaboration beer between two breweries from Indiana. Now, I live in Northwest Ohio. I'm probably 45 minutes from the Indiana border, if that. That being said, I rarely, if ever, see Indiana beers here for sale, with the exception of Three Floyds. Three Floyds, iconic brewery, but they tend to be hop heavy. So if you're looking for something else, I really don't see any Indiana beers, so thrilled to be able to check this one out. Now, this is from Taxman Brewing, and they're in Bargersville, Indiana, and Switchyard Brewing out of Bloomington, Indiana. Looks like this beer is made with Lutra, which is a Kveik yeast. I've been hearing a lot about that lately. Not quite sure how I feel about it. I just did some home brewing 2 days ago, so I got it was an Oktoberfest kit that I had from a while back. And I did it on Boxing Day, so I'm calling it Boxtoberfest. So hopefully in a couple weeks that'll be ready. But the Kveik yeast is, I don't know, I guess it's taken the brewing industry by storm because it has a number of properties that would make it quite useful. For one, apparently you can pitch it when the temperature is much hotter in your, when you're making the beer. I think you usually want it around 78 degrees, where this set it can go, I think it's set up into the low 90s, and it won't kill the yeast or make it produce off flavors. So obviously that's a huge advantage. The other thing is it goes through the fermentation process, I guess, a lot quicker. So this, I guess, eats up all the sugars and produces the alcohol much quicker than if you were using other kinds of yeast. The downside is you turn around the batches rather quickly, and I don't know, something in my brain just doesn't sit well with that, yet I know tons of people are doing it, so nothing wrong with it. I'm just averse to change, I guess. So this is made with that, and this is a Maibock. We have some writing on the side, and nothing super interesting, just some witty banter, I guess. It's hard to read. It's like a green background with white writing on it, so it's kind of difficult to read the text. Now, I did go and look at these websites, and Taxman was actually created by three people that were tax consultants. I think it said they met in Belgium and then came up with the idea of the brewery. And I guess on the front of the can here, we kind of see this skeleton with the top hat. And they said that this was, the logo here was created in homage to Ben Franklin's quote, something of the effect, paraphrasing here, that the only things that are certain in life are death and taxes. So I guess as they're taxmen, you have death following as well. Bit menacing, huh? All right, today we're going to use this Fatheads glass I picked up the other day. Went up to BG Beverage Center when I picked up my son, and they had this glass for $2.50. Couldn't pass on that. That's a good deal. I need to stop buying these glasses. I'm running out of room for them, but it's becoming an obsession. I can't stop buying them. All right, color. I was expecting this to be slightly darker. It's a bit of a knobhead pour on my part there. Not a bit. It's kind of got an amber color to it, but I was expecting a little bit darker. If I'm using this chart here, I don't know, I'd probably say maybe 9 pale amber. I was expecting maybe more like a medium amber color, but it looks okay. As far as the head, now I have probably 3 fingers here because of my knobhead pour. It has a nice caramel color to it. The head looks really nice. Just kind of floating there. Looks decent. Nice big pillowy tan caramel kind of head. As to carbonation, I see some stuff floating around. Nothing crazy, but there's a fair amount of carbonation in there, even though this is kind of cloudy. I can't really see through it to the other side of the glass, but I can pick up the carbonation. So yeah, there's actually a fair amount. Those bubbles look quite large. Looks pretty decent. Just give it a sniff. I don't know if it's because the head is so thick on this or what, but I'm not getting a huge aroma. Kind of getting a little bit of sweet malt, malty kind of sweetness. And that's about it. I'm not picking up a ton on the nose. Now this comes in at 7.5% ABV, 26 IBUs. Ratings-wise, does pretty decent. On Untapped, it has 3.72, although it should be noted there's only 219 check-ins, so that's a relatively small sample size. Beer Advocate, NA, this thing wasn't even listed. So, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love it when I find a beer that has very few check-ins. So much appreciated, Jay, for sending me this. Only 219 when I wrote this card up yesterday. All right, looks nice. Let's give it a taste, see what it's like. Medium body. Kind of get some biscuity malt. Get a nice caramel flavor in there. Some nice caramel sweetness. You also get a slight bit at the end there. I think when you first taste it, the first thing you pick up is kind of caramel sweetness. You get the biscuity malt bit as well, so they kind of work well together. Then you get a tiny bit of like a peppery, I don't know if it's the yeast or the hops once again, you get a little bit of a peppery bit there as well. I'd say it's probably sweeter, more than the pepperiness comes through. So it's slightly unbalanced in that regard. I think it's probably sweeter more than it is bitter. Not immensely, but if you have kind of like the scale there, I think it leans on the sweet side. You get the peppery bit at the end now. It's kind of funny. A lot of times once you drink the beer, you kind of taste it in your lips or in your mouth. And I said this the other day, I think one of the cinnamon beers, I had the cinnamon kind of lingered. I do get a little bit of like the pepperiness hanging about. Not strong, but it does balance it out a little more than I initially thought. Yeah, I like this. 7.5. I don't think you'd think this is anything above the norm. Sometimes when you get the Maibocks, they are a little bit too sweet for me, and I don't think this one is the Maibock. Let me pronounce it correctly so I don't get screeched at by anybody out there. Pretty decent overall. Like I said, this is a Collusion, so this is a collaboration between two breweries, Taxman and Switchyard. I think you guys did a good job with this. I would definitely have another one of these. So Collusion gets a big thumbs up. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, you got any comments or questions, jump in down below. Have you had anything from either of these breweries, Taxman or Switchyard? If so, let me know what else I should be looking for. I looked on Untapped. It looks like I haven't had anything from either of these guys. So I guess anything else out there would be new to me. Hey, until next time, cheers.